All right, so we're diving into some seriously evocative lyrics today, listeners. We're talking themes of loss and identity that pull towards darkness.
Yeah,
The good stuff.
the kind of stuff that really makes you think.
Exactly. And we know you all love this kind of deep dive, so get ready for some powerful imagery. We're going to unpack what makes these lyrics tick.
Should be fun.
Absolutely. So, kicking things off, we're in A Dragon's Lair, this first piece. It just grabs you from the get go. Listen to this. Once beat a heart rushed by the wind, landscapes gone fast under the swoosh of her wings. Was it even worth it?
Wow.
Right. Talk about an opening line. It makes you wonder what happened to this dragon? Where did it all go wrong?
Yeah, and what strikes me is how this dragon becomes a metaphor. It's like that feeling of burnout so many of us have felt,
Mm-hmm.
that a relentless ambition, pushing yourself to the limit,
Yeah.
and then wondering, was it worth the cost?
It's like that question, well, was it even worth it?
Yeah.
Hangs over the whole poem.
It does. It makes you think about legacy,
Mm.
what we leave behind.
And what's interesting is that repeating line, not to be anymore, again and again. It's almost like the dragon is making a choice to disappear, not just fading away.
That's a really good point. It's not just defeat, it's like a rejection of legacy itself. Like the
Mm.
dragon is questioning the very idea of being remembered.
Mm.
Makes you wonder, what would our own legacies be?
Right. Like if we could cheers, what would people say about us after? Well,
Hopefully not. They finally stop saying right.
Okay, moving on from my self-deprecating humor. It's a coping mechanism.
And that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, let's move on to a slightly darker path with Rainblock.
Yeah.
If Dragon's Lair was about the weight of legacy, this one, it just dives headfirst into something way more introspective. The imagery is so vivid. I am the rain black, the dire shadow in the clear of day, a black spot in the sun.
Ooh, yeah.
This is heavy stuff. This isn't just any shadow. Rain black is like this corruption of purity, a darkness even the light can't reach.
It's powerful stuff. What do you make of that, listener?
Exactly. What speaks to you? Because for me, this poem is about that duality inside all of us, the parts of ourselves we try to
The
hide.
shadow self. Exactly. Rain Black isn't some monster under the bed. It's the voice of doubt, the insecurity whispering in the back of our minds. And the way this poem plays with light and dark, it's just oof. Like, listen to this. If I turn out the light, it is not an invitation. It is my shadow, not yours.
Yeah, there's this real push and pull there, wanting to hide but also needing to be seen.
Totally. And that repetition, if I turn out the light, it's like this internal battle is happening right there in the lyrics.
It's so raw.
It makes me think about those times, when we push people away. But it's not to punish them, it's because we're terrified of what they'll see if they get too close.
Oh, absolutely. Vulnerability is scary.
The worst. But then there's this other line. I am the buyer of souls once not for sale. In silence, in whispers, I need to be heard.
Oof, yeah. It's hard.
Right. It just breaks your heart a little because underneath it all, even in those dark places, there's this deep need to connect, to be understood.
Rainblack wants to break free from that isolation, but it doesn't know how.
It's so relatable, though. We all have those parts of ourselves, the ones we want to keep hidden, even from ourselves sometimes.
That's 100%.
Okay, so if Rain Black was all about facing those shadows, Rushed by the Wind is like, well, it throws us headfirst into the fleeting nature of, well, everything.
It's a total 180.
Right. Like night and day, this poem is like a snapshot, a fleeting moment captured in time, rushed by the wind into the light. Now I end in the void, now I fall in the dark.
It's almost disorienting how fast it all happens.
Totally. And the imagery just adds to that feeling,
Hmm.
The wind, the light, and then bam, darkness. It's like, that's life, right?
Always changing.
Exactly. You get these bursts of brilliance, but then just like that, they're gone. Poof.
It makes you want to hold on tighter.
Oh, 100%. And speaking of holding on, there's this one line. The imprisoned pearl freed by your hand, you left the shell buried in sand.
What an image.
Right. So powerful and kind of heartbreaking when you think about it.
How so?
Well, the pearl is free, which is great, but the shell, it's like this reminder of what it used to be, of
Mm.
where it came from. It really makes you think about those times in our own lives, like those rush of wind moments
Right.
when everything just clicks and it's amazing, but then gone.
It's bittersweet.
Totally. So how do we hold on to that feeling, even when the moment's over?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Seriously. But maybe it's not about holding on, Maybe it's about accepting that things change.
Maybe the memory's enough.
Maybe. Like those moments, they become part of us, even if they're gone.
They leave their mark.
Okay, ready for our final poem. This one's different. Like, remember how intense Rain Black was? All that darkness?
Yeah, it was heavy.
This one. It takes that darkness and finds magic in it. It's like a breath of fresh air. This is embracing the night.
I'm intrigued.
Right. You feel that shift in tone. It's like after facing all those shadows, the speaker finds peace, inspiration even, in the night.
Interesting.
It's like stepping into the secret world.
Right.
Listen, it's so unlikely, such as the magic of the night. I didn't expect to find a muse, fairy, witch who hides in the dark.
Okay, yeah. I see what you mean about the shift. There's a real sense of wonder there.
Right. It's like during the day, everything's ordinary, but then night comes and
Yeah.
bam,
Right.
enchantment.
It reminds me of what we were saying about Dragon's Lair. Those hidden spaces where different rules apply.
Totally, like a secret language. It makes you wonder, what's the magic of the night for you, right? Is it about being creative or looking inward? Or maybe connecting with something bigger than yourself?
I think it's different for everyone.
Maybe that's the point. But that's the beauty of these poems, right? We've gone from a dragon's legacy to the magic of the night. Loss, identity, darkness. They all connect to something universal, something we all feel.
It's been quite a journey.
Seriously. But the big takeaway, embrace all of it. The light and the dark, the fleeting moments and the things that stick with you, and never stop looking for the extraordinary, even in the ordinary.
Well said. Well said.